During the time you're on your lunch break or in the bathroom hiding from work, let's find out if Jama'rr Chase is the greatest rookie receiver of all time. Here's a funny story that actually isn't funny, but more a testament to Jama'rr Chase being an absolute alien. Chase was 19 years old in 2019 when the LSU Tigers won the College Playoff National Championship. He had nearly 1,800 receiving yards and then an SEC record 20 touchdowns. In other words, if you gave Chase alcohol at the age where he was murdering defenses, you'd be thrown in jail. So then, coming off his age 19 season, Chase opted out of the 2020 season to protect himself from injury, as he was already seen as a premier prospect. Fast forward to the 2021 NFL Draft at pick number 4. Chase is more than a year removed from taking serious snaps of football that actually counts, and the Bengals badly need a lineman to protect Joe Burrow. So they draft Chase, but don't worry because LSU teammate Joe Burrow wanted him in the first place. But worry because Chase made the unthinkable, career-destroying act of making mistakes in the preseason. That's right, Chase was dropping passes in exhibition games. It didn't matter what he could do in the regular season or postseason. The NFL's all-time greats are judged by what they do in the preseason, and Jama'rr Chase wasn't cutting it. Luckily, Chase responded by putting up a rookie regular season for the ages. Yeah, problems seeing the football? What problems? Are those problems invisible? This is Jama'rr Chase. Problems don't exist. Okay, sure, he was near the top in drops for his rookie season, but it did not matter at all. Besides, if we look at drop percentage, Chase was 13th worst instead of the absolute worst. Hell, All-Pro god Deebo Samuel was right next to him in that category too. Every rookie is going to make mistakes, but the best rookies offer something that easily offsets the imperfections. What Chase offered was a post-merger rookie and Bengals franchise record 1,455 receiving yards while adding 13 touchdowns, completely transforming Cincinnati's offense and becoming the franchise's first Rookie of the Year winner since Carl Pickens in 1992. I was not born in 1992, but I can detect that this was a very long wait for Bengals fans. In addition to becoming the 16th rookie receiver ever with 200 yards in a single game, he's also the first and only rookie to do this twice. Chase's 40-yard dash time at the 2021 Combine was an impressive 4.34 seconds, and he used his godlike speed to put up 17.96 yards per reception, the 8th highest mark from any rookie receiver with at least 1,000 yards and the 3rd highest post-merger. Let's talk about fantasy football for a minute. I promise it's quick. Remember in Week 16 against the Chiefs when Chase went off? That resulted in 266 yards off 11 catches for 3 touchdowns. You want to guess how many fantasy points he had in PPR? 55.6, which is the PPR record for a rookie in a single game. It's also the single game rookie record on DraftKings and
13th
in PPR all time. That game was significant for other reasons. First, it ended a 5-year playoff drought, clinching the AFC North for the Bengals. Second, Chase became the first rookie since 1979 with more than 250 yards in a game. And his 266 yards are not only the most in a single game from any Bengal, but any rookie, period. In 2003, Anquan Boldin had a record 621 receiving yards through his first 7 games, a record that had never been eclipsed since. Want to know how many Chase had through his first 7? 754! He also had the record through his first 8 games and his first 16 games as a rookie. When it came to the playoffs, Chase also delivered the goods. He started his first 2 postseason games off with 100 yards in his first 2 playoff affairs, making him the youngest receiver to do this. His 368 yards in a postseason are also a rookie record. Now let's try to establish Jama'rr Chase as the greatest rookie receiver of all time. There's 4 players I feel that Chase is competing with for the title of greatest rookie receiver. Justin Jefferson 2020, Odell Beckham 2014, Anquan Boldin 2003, and of course, Randy Moss 1998. Let's start with Jefferson, Chase's former LSU teammate. Some people might have Justin Jefferson's outstanding rookie season above Jama'rr Chase's, citing that Chase needed an extra game to break Jefferson's post-merger record. But that ignores that through 16 games, Chase had already broken Jefferson's record. Jefferson did have more 100-yard games than Chase, and he's coming off arguably the greatest 2-year start to a career a receiver has ever had. However, I think Chase barely edges him out here. First, touchdowns are kept in mind, as Chase had 13 to Jefferson's 7. Second, depending on your thoughts on Kirk Cousins, the NFL's granola dad, you could say Chase benefited from better quarterback play. But even accounting that, I still felt Chase was able to take over a game at a higher level than Jefferson. For these reasons, I give Chase the slight edge. Next, let's look at Anquan Boldin. The only receiver with 200 receiving yards in his rookie debut, Boldin also became the first rookie with 100 catches in a season, and until Jalen Waddle last year, he was the only rookie to do so. With that said, this is a bit easier to decide than the others. Chase not only has more yards and touchdowns, but more 200-yard games than Boldin. So, to me, he takes this battle. Let's talk about Randy Moss. Wait, was he actually named the Freak? I've never heard him get called the Freak, but apparently Pro Football Reference says he was. Randy Moss, much like Jama'rr Chase, was an aggressive draft pick by a team looking to make a deep playoff run, and Moss rewarded the Vikings by raising the bar for what a rookie receiver could do. Moss's 17 touchdowns are, to this day, a rookie record, and his 1,313 receiving yards were the post-merger record at the time too. He has Chase, who played with Moss's son at LSU, beat in touchdowns and yards per reception, but Chase has him beat in receptions and receiving yards. Moss had 4 100-yard games in his rookie season, while Chase had 5 of them. Moss had 4 games with multiple touchdowns, while Chase had 3 of them. Both also had 1 game where they were held to a catch in under 10 yards receiving. Yikes. One thing Chase and Moss share is that they are speedy threats with the ability to break loose for large chunk plays and vertical home runs. They both finished with a 40 time under 4.4 seconds and were studs after the catch. Now let's compare the two on long distance plays. Moss had an absurd 14 plays of 40 plus yards and 20 plays of 20 plus. Chase, in comparison, had 8 plays of 40 plus yards, but 22 plays of 20 plus. Keep in mind, Chase and Moss were both 21 years old in these seasons. I will mention this in every sentence for the rest of this video. I hope you enjoy that. Chase admittedly had a bit of a drought in the middle of his season, but did return to immortal heights by the time the season ended. In his last 7 games, he caught 34 passes for 588 yards, 5 touchdowns, and 17.29 yards per reception. These are pretty good numbers, but now look at what Moss did in his last 7 games. In those 7 games, Moss caught 37 passes for 714 yards, 11 touchdowns, and 19.3 yards per reception, pulling in at least 1 touchdown in all 7 games. That's including 3 touchdowns in back-to-back games. Let me repeat that. 6 touchdowns in 2 games. When it comes to finishing the regular season, this isn't close. Still, Chase has the edge over Moss to start his rookie season. He scored 4 touchdowns in his first 3 games, the youngest receiver to ever do so. Since for some reason we're still stuck on 7s, in Chase's first 7 games, he caught 35 passes for 754 yards, 6 touchdowns, and an insane 21.54 yards per reception. He wipes Moss to start a career. Finally, let's look at first downs. Chase created 58 of them compared to Moss's 51. Moss converted 40.8% of his 125 targets and touches into first downs, while Chase converted 41.48% of his 135 targets and touches into first downs. Chase deserves a ton of credit for helping launch the Bengals offense into an explosive unit. Ultimately, with how Moss helped transform the Vikings into one of the league's all-time greatest offenses, set the rookie touchdown record, and put up historic numbers in the second half of 1998, I would have to give Moss the edge over Chase. Chase does have superior postseason numbers even when you compare Chase's first 2 postseason games with Moss's 2 from his rookie year, but even then I would put Moss over Chase. Finally, let's talk about Odell Beckham's rookie season in 2014. Despite playing in 12 games, Beckham collected over 1,300 yards and 12 touchdowns, but sadly, he was only good that year because of a one-handed catch. As time passes by, Beckham's rookie season gets better and better. He was sharing time with receivers by the names of Larry Donnell, Preston Parker, Ruben Randall, and an injured Victor Cruz. And yet, he was constantly separating and making impressive play after impressive play. I thought about this for a bit. I think Beckham can be argued as a superior based on per-game rates, and if he played 16 games, he would finish with 1,740 yards and 16 touchdowns. Overall, when it comes to the best rookie seasons in wide receiver history, I'd have Chase above Justin Jefferson and Anquan Boldin, but below Randy Moss and Odell Beckham. But regardless of how you feel about both players, you have to admit Jama'rr Chase really was a serious threat to dethroning Randy Moss. There is a real case to make that Chase has the greatest rookie season from a receiver ever when combining the regular season with the postseason. Is it a winning one? Maybe. If he had less drops, it'd be more convincing. But I truly think the debate between Chase and Moss is real. That's normally not a conversation you could have with rookie wideouts before 2021. Regardless if you pick Moss or Chase, it can't be denied that both players were absolute sequence breakers, game wreckers in their rookie seasons. Both delivered debuts that raised the bar and set new standards for what's to come from first-year starters. That this conversation is legitimate speaks to how generational Chase was in his rookie season. Though for what it's worth, Chris Carter himself said Jama'rr Chase had a better rookie season. Haha. Thanks for watching. Take it easy.